Hello everyone. We are going to see today the application of elasticity. We are knowing the property of elasticity is occur in the solid. This property is in solid. And we know that when deforming force act on this, a solid, a deformation occurs, and when we release the force, again it come back in their original position. And the property of such type of solid is known as elasticity. Right. The first application of this property we are going to use where the part of machine we are knowing part of machine is made up of steel, and we never give deforming force more than its limit of elasticity. So stress never more than elastic limit. If it is given more than the elastic limit, then the part of machine will be deformed. When it will be deformed permanently, it will deformed permanently. So maximum, the machine part is made up of steel. The maximum material is used in that, and that material which we use to make the part of a machine, right, which never steps beyond the limit of elasticity. If it is stressed more than the limit of elasticity, then it is permanently deformed and machine will go damaged. This is the first use of the elasticity. Now we are going to second application of the elastic property of a solid. We are knowing in the second application of this, we know in industry we are knowing crane is used to lift heavy load in the industry. This load is around maximum limit of 10 to the power 4 kg. Here in this lift machine, there is used pulleys, rope and motor. These are the part of the lift machine, crane. So this heavy load, the rope thickness is important here, because when load is suspended by the rope hook of the lift, so in that condition it can be keep in count that the stress can never beyond the limit of elasticity. So we have to keep remember limit of elasticity. In limit of elasticity, see, one thing is very important here. What is important? That how much load and what is the thickness required of a pulley must be there. Then it should work within the limit of elasticity. So far the thickness to lift a load is equal to load of 10 to the power 4 kg. 10 to the power 4 kg means called 100 quintal. 1 quintal carry 100 kg. Right? Since we know that elastic limit of steel is 3 into 10 to the power 8 Newton per meter square. This is elastic limit, and this elastic limit is called ultimate stress on rope of steel used in the crane. The elastic limit of this, right? So now there is one formula for this ultimate stress. This ultimate stress, what does mean of ultimate stress here? How much load required to give on the pulley that the rope of the crane must work within the limit of elasticity to avoid the permanent damage in the crane. So ultimate stress is given by a formula: load to be lifted divided by area of cross section of rope. This area of the cross section of rope is related with directly thickness of rope, means area means radius, diameter denotes thickness, and in formula it can be written as mg by pi r square, and it is ultimate stress is there. Now we are going to keep some values here. See what should be that. This is ultimate stress, that is the elastic limit for a steel, because rope is made of material steel in the crane. It is 3 into 10 to the power 8 m is a mass, 100 quintal 10 to the power 4 kg into acceleration due to gravity. We will select 10 pi 3.14. if you select, then we want to see what is the value of r. If we solve the whole calculation for r, this r comes around 0.0103 meter, and if we convert in the centimeter, it is 1.03 centimeter. This calculation has a mean. What mean this calculation? This calculation speaks that the rope radius should be little more than 1.03 centimeter to bear safely the load up to 10 to the power 4 kg, right? So we know that 1.03 centimeter, this radius is not less, it is much more. So it is made in piles, groups of thin wire, compiling with a thin wire and twisted in such a way that its total radius becomes more than 1.03 centimeter to carry the safe load by crane up to 100 quintal 10 to the power 4 kg without any permanent damage or elongation in the thread or without breaking the rope. Now see one more application of the elasticity. This application is used to design the bridge. We are going to make a bridge, concrete, steel and cement is used. So design has a great role in that. So how the bar should be made to bear the load. So this bar, which is kept over on two pillars and through which the road is constructed towards the bar, let AB is a bar on which the whole weight of the road and vehicles and all other external parameters, cyclones, heavy winds are protected by it. So here the parameter is utilized, the weight of the road, weight of the vehicles processed over it, heavy storms and things through which it is becomes stationary. In this is the design has a more important. To understand the design, let us see this explanation very carefully to understand the fact. Let AB is a bar on which the load is suspended, and this bar is made up of concrete, cement and steel is used. We are knowing the elastic limit of steel which is used, we have in the second application. It is 3 into 10 to the power 8 Newton per meter square, we know. When this bar is made up of this concrete and steel has a elastic limit of this. In that condition, it can be elongated, bent. It is bend bar when load is passes and this. So in that condition, it's bend. The bending is measured in term of delta here. See carefully in this whole explanation. Right? It is due to the total weight W of the bar. Let's acted at the center of gravity, CG of the bar here. Right? If this depression is more, then in that condition the whole road will be bent, and after a certain condition, if load is more, in that condition this bridge can be damaged. So how it will be designed in such a way that this depression should be minimum. This depression on the bar is due to the load, and we want to keep this depression minimum. So we want to see what are the parameters which determines the depression delta, and it is given by this formula. This depression here in the diagram delta is given by W LQ4 gamma BD square, where these symbols have their usual meanings. Delta stands for depression, W is load of a bar. This in which when vehicles passes over it, their weights also included in that. If any natural calamities and high pressure winds, rain, earthquake, this type of things happen, it also bears. So in that condition the weight is based on that. L is the length of a bar. So in the parameter, B is here breadth of bar, D is depth or thickness of bar, and Y is Young's modulus of steel used to design to build the bar of the bridges. Right? So how much this? The design is based on these parameters. So weight, nothing. We have to bear the weight. We have to pass the heavy vehicles continually. We cannot avoid the climatic conditions, high pressure winds, cyclones. We cannot avoid that. It is not our hand. So what parameters we keep here in designing? Length. So see here WL square. In that condition, to keep W minimum, what should be? Capital L should be less, but we have a limit. We cannot keep more than the beyond limits. 4 is a constant, Young's modulus of steel is a constant. So B. So keep this B should be larger, right? And since the parameter D should also larger, same like as the previous one. But see, in that condition, the thickness in that depression is inversely proportional to D cube. See, what does it speak? So more concentration to give the depth of the beam, which is made to pass the limit which is kept over the pillars, right? Should be more as possible. So for designing, this is very important to check the depth, because it is 1 by d square. So this factor is very important in designing of a bridge. In designing of a bridge, which you design for years and years, because a lot of money is used to construct the bridges. Now we are going to see the one more application of the elasticity. We can predict about the height of the mountains. What should be maximum height should be of the mountain, that it can be stable for a longer period, longevity for the. So see here, let it is the mountain which height from the surface of earth at a sea level is h is given. What should be maximum height? What should be? When your weight is kept on the bottom of the earth, so it's create a pressure. This pressure is given by formula we are knowing, HDG. We know this formula, right? And since elastic limit of material of mountain through which it is made up of is same like as a steel, approximately. It is 3 into 10 to the power, very less than that, not steel, not up to power. It is 3 into 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube. Sorry, elastic limit of material is 3 into 10 to the power 8. It is Newton per meter square, right? So if it can bear up to here only the load, the elastic limit is for which will be safe longevity of the mountain for a long time. So longevity will be more, right? So in that condition, for a longevity, we may write for longevity of mountains, how much pressure can be bears. The main thing is that. So the pressure is H dg. It should be always less than the elastic limit. So H dg must be less than elastic limit is 3 into 10 to the power 8 Newton per meter square. Actually, we want to calculate height. So it should be 3 into 10 to the power 8 by dg, right? So 3, it should be less than 3 into 10 to the power 8 into density of the material of that. Density of material of this is 3 into 10 to the power 3. 3 into 10 to the power 3 into gravity, if we take a 10. In that condition, height should be less than 10 to the power 4 meter. 10 to the power 4 meter. This is this height. The highest peak mountains found on the earth's surface is Mount Everest. Mount Everest. Which height is approximately this 10 to the power 4 meter. If height is more than of any mountain is more height than the Mount Everest, that cannot be stay for a long time. Their stability will be damaged, destroyed. That is why maximum possible mountain on the surface of earth is equal to the height of Mount Everest. It is approximately 10 to the power 4 meter from the sea level. Now we are going to see last application of elasticity in this lecture. That is, a hollow shaft is more stronger than a solid shaft. Here in this calculation, see, we are taking one hollow shaft and one solid shaft. Both shaft is made up of 2 points is important herein. One is same material, one thing, and equal mass. So mass of the both shaft is same and material is same. Let's both is made of steel and mass is same. First of all, we are going to see for the solid shaft. Solid shaft is here given in the diagram, in which it is length is there and it is radius. When we want to twist it, the torque required for that, for twisting, torque required in that is given by formula pi eta r power 4 by twice of the length. And it is represented by equation number 1. Right? Here in this, see very carefully. Eta is modulus of rigidity. dt of material. R is radius and L is the length. If same shaft is a hollow shaft, made up of same material and same mass, equal mass, in which R1 denotes external radius, R2 denotes internal radius, right? R1 and R2. Then to twist that, the same thing, twisting the shaft, the torque required, let tau dash, and it is given by formula pi eta is the same thing. R1 power 4 minus R2 power 4 by 2L. The length is the same. Here also one thing keep in mind, length we have taken same. To see which shaft is more stronger in this. So actually the question of designing here in this case. So these two equations, if we will divide 1 by equation 2, we may write one is tau by tau dash. It can be obtained here in this by this formula. See here, pi eta 2L, pi eta 2L is a cancel. So it becomes in that condition totally. See very carefully. it is r power 4 by r1 power 4 minus r2 power 4, and it is given by the equation number 3 here. Now see carefully in this whole of the calculation. This equation 3 can be written as tau dash by tau is equal to, this will be reciprocal, and a factor of this is r1 square minus r2 square, r1 square plus r2 square by r power 4. This equation can also be written in this form. Now, since we know that in whole of the explanation, both shaft have same mass and same material. Since we know that mass is equal to volume into density, so this is a cylindrical shape. For solid we can write pi r square L into density d. Let d denotes density of material. For hollow shaft it will be equal to pi r1 square minus r2 square. Length is the same we are keeping and same material. So what does indicate this explanation? R square is equal to r1 square minus r2 square. So this is the physics here by from this mathematics. Clear? We want to keep this value in the equation number 4 and want to see what should be the value of tau dash by tau. So keeping this value here, we may write tau dash by tau is equal to, here tau dash by tau is given r1 square minus r2 square in one bracket, r1 square plus r2 square in another bracket by r power 4, and using this equation in place of this, one may write r square. So r square r1 square plus r2 square by r power 4. This gives the final expression here, tau dash by tau, this is r power 4. So it's become r1 square plus r2 square by r square. And it is represented by equation number 6 here. Now it is required to examine this final expression. It is more important for the final conclusion. See in this right hand side. This right hand side is r1 square plus r2 square by r square. Since r1 is more than r, r2 is less than r, but the mathematical expression r1 square plus r2 square is greater than r square. This implies that tau dash is always greater than tau. So torque required to twist the hollow shaft is more than solid shaft. It means that hollow shaft is more stronger than the solid one. Actually, in the designing of any machine or bridges, the shaft is made hollow to keep more stronger than to made a solid shaft. So this is a very important here by this combination. So one may say that we prove that hollow shaft is stronger than solid shaft under the same length, mass and material. So this is for today. Thank you and a nice day to all.